Hey guys, just wanted to do a really quick video on this red hot housing market and how Montreal and Toronto has seemed to make its way into Ottawa. We're seeing increased house prices from 2 years ago all the way up to 35%, which is a huge jump. And we're seeing as many as 30 to 35 offers going on one single property when it's being listed. So we want to help you not feel as discouraged and look at tips and ways to help make this a little bit more successful for you. So one of the things that we're looking for in competing is making sure that, because financing seems to be a big one that everybody's trying to see if they can go in unconditionally. So here's what I'm going to say is build an experienced team. Your team is going to help facilitate this and make this a very successful transaction. So have you sat with a mortgage broker to look at all of your financing options? Have they verified all of your income documents? Have they verified your down payment documents? And I don't mean you just tell them that you have them. Have they gone through everything to ensure that everything will be compliant with the bank's conditions when you decide to go get financing after? The other thing is, have they checked Equifax and TransUnion? So both credit reports naturally are really important to review. You don't want something popping up later that we didn't know about or hadn't seen. And review that credit report with the mortgage agent and make sure that you have the financing options available. So fixed, variable, products, contracts, all of that before you make the offer. If you're going to put an offer with no financing condition, a couple of things just to think about, which sort of leads me to my next number 2, building your team, which is get an experienced real estate agent, somebody who understands the market and that can do all of that research before the offer goes in. These are really important factors because you don't want to overpay for a property regardless of how many offers that go in. So they can do all that research for you in terms of figuring out the days on the market in the neighborhood, what the highest price is sold for, how long the owner has owned the property, what the other interiors look like versus this one. All of this research can be done ahead of time so that you have confidence in terms of the price that you're going to offer the seller. If you end up overpaying for the property, then what it is you're going to be responsible for that differential. So let's say, for example, you offer $450 and the appraisal comes in at $425 or $400, then you're going to be responsible for that extra $25,000 to the seller. Some people don't mind that. That's okay. They're going to be there long term. But what triggers an actual appraisal would be a couple of items. So one, if it's not listed with a real estate agent, it is sold privately. That will trigger an appraisal. If it hasn't really hit MLS yet, there's some exclusive listings, and sometimes if it's not coming up, then they'll want to see an appraisal. A couple of other reasons is if it's way over asking price, if it's out of town on well and septic. So there's all of these things that could trigger the appraisal. So just make sure that you can get in for one extra visit before the closing date. The other thing is make sure that you have a property inspector in line. Make sure you call a few and get some referrals so that they're ready to go when you want to put in that inspection clause, because you want to look for things for like structural, electrical, and all those other things. It may not make a difference to you, but it may. So make sure that you have the condition of building inspection. You have the right person on your team. Try to accommodate the seller. That's a big one. Try to accommodate their closing dates. Try to accommodate anything that they need extra time, cleaning resources on the time of leaving the property. So figure out what their needs are and try to accommodate. And the last thing is make sure that you're trying to increase your deposit. Sometimes it makes the seller feel a little bit better when you've got some more funds to be able to put towards that. So we're typically used to $2,000 to $5,000 deposits, and now we're seeing them at $10,000 and $20,000 deposits, which allows the seller to feel a bit more secure. So if you have any other questions, make sure, experienced team, get everything done before the offer goes in to make that offer as clean as possible, and talk to your broker about what property you're looking at as they're coming up for sale. And if you have any other questions, give us a call. wilsonteam.ca. Thank you.